Noisy Pixel.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Unqualified Game Chat, episode 13. I'm your host, Azario Lopez, and with me today, Spencer Legacy. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I have the PS2 microphone. I played those games.
Did they really work?
Not well.
There was a We Sing game for the PS4, and people figured out that they didn't work. Like, you could literally clap your hands into them and it'll register as you're singing in the thing.
Yeah. No, you could just hit tones. You could be like, it could be like a full song. You could be like, and it would be like perfect.
What song was that? It sounded like Lady Gaga. Were you singing?
That was just random
Gaga?
tone.
Oh, I thought you were singing some Gaga.
No, I wish I could have done that.
Oh, if only we could reverse time.
Damn it.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. School's done for the semester.
School's out forever.
Till September. Yeah, till September. Then I have my third semester. But
what are your summer dreams? Give me one of your summer dreams.
I want to be able to leave my house and go to the store without a lockdown happening.
Some people want to find a girlfriend. Spencer wants to just go get some Skittles. I
just want to leave. No, I want to do lots of cool work to bolster my portfolio in this industry. I'm doing a little bit of work with Noisy Pixel.
Maybe it's secrets are happening.
Yeah.
Secrets are happening. And you know what? On that, I have not checked the view count for Legend of Mana.
See if they failed us.
Last gen. And let's see where it's at. No joke. You heard it here first. 1K views. Here it goes, people. You made it happen. You made it happen, listeners. All of you. Every single one of you.
98% of it was us telling you to do it. So that it's kind of because of us. But you still clicked it.
You made it possible that there is going to be a second last gen episode coming at you quick. Hopefully by next week. You know what? I promise next week, because this weekend I ain't got nothing to do.
There you go. You don't have 3 RPGs you have to cram in?
Not this time, brother. Not this time. You know what? And you know what I did yesterday, just to make time for my weekend? I canceled my pre-order on new Pokemon Snap.
Wow. That's nuts.
I did it, and we'll touch on this later in the episode, but I did it because my birthday's coming up and I have a retro game store tour that I'm planning to go on the Saturday before my birthday, but that is where my money will be going.
You're pillaging all these stores of their old Japanese games.
Yes. Give me all your crazy games that I've never heard of. Anytime I see a title that's just so obscure, I get it. I just Mario? and I'm not talking about.
He's on a roll.
The Ignition published classic Obscure.
That was a lot of work for that bit, but it worked.
Developed by PlayLogic. So, not talking about that.
That was like some Carrot Top shit. But not this obscure.
So
it's like some Death Stranding shit. I'm fragile, but not that fragile.
So yes, we will have a new Last Gen episode because I ain't got nothing to do over the weekend. I'll put it together. I'll slap it together. Update. The thing is that since I edited those videos, I've gotten better at video editing. So I'll apply some of my skills and make the transitions a little smoother. Maybe add some additional B-roll to spice it up a little bit, as they say.
Make it a little saucy.
A little Salt Bay on it.
Ooh, a little taste. Bam.
But what game it is, we'll never tell.
Well, we'll tell on the day that it comes out.
We'll tell the day. But honestly, right now, I forgot.
I don't remember either. I don't remember the order at all.
So hopefully it's a good one. That's all I could say.
And
but thank you so much.
Get it to 1,000 views.
Thank you so much for watching that episode up to 1,000 views. It really means a lot to us because Spencer and I did put a lot of time into it, and we're very excited to share more with you.
It's a wonderful series. It's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. On that note, I forgot to say that this podcast is recorded every week and posted to podcast services on Thursday.
Every week.
Every week. It's there for you. It's there for you. Maybe at 10 a.m. PST. Maybe at 12 p.m. PST.
Definitely not at 12 a.m. PST.
No.
It's not getting edited in 8 hours?
I mean, could I do it? I could. Will I do it?
No.
Not happening.
Not happening. He has Obscure to play.
I do want to extend a question to the listeners out there that please give us topics.
Yes.
To talk about after we talk about the games that we're playing, because it's probably the hardest part about this show is to come up with something. I mean, we can riff. We can riff
all day.
But just help a brother out.
Help a brother out. It's tough out there when you're getting these topics because things don't happen as much right now.
No.
So we don't have big things to talk about.
The dead zone.
It is the dead zone.
On that note, let me know what you're playing, Spencer.
Well, unexpectedly, I am playing NieR Replicant version 1.2 to a bunch more numbers.
You don't have to do that.
I'm not going to do it. I watched you guys' review, and I was impressed at how many times your reviewer pulled out the full number. I was like, damn.
He memorized it after a while.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Also, you guys I noticed you redid the mobile site. Very nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Very nice.
We've touched up a lot of different things. We have a nice review score at the bottom that it shows the number. We used to have this bar, and I didn't like the bar, so I got a circle. The thing is that a lot of websites, they all have the same shitty little plugin at the bottom, and I can see it all on all the sites, and they all share it. GameCouch.com.
Call out.
Me and my friend playgame.com. I don't know. All those websites have the same little shitty little review thing at the bottom, and I was like, not a Noisy Pixel.
It ends here.
This is the last straw. And so we got something there. It's this little circle with a loading bar kind of thing in it, but it shows the score in the middle. And that's new. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, I noticed because I was like, how do I get all these NieR endings so I can review this properly? And I went on Noisy Pixel, and there was a little ending guide, and I went, wow.
Oh, yes. We have it's spoiler free as well.
It is. I'm impressed. So I've been using that, and it's interesting. I really like NieR. It's such a strange thing, but reviewing it in a short period of time makes it a whole different experience than when you play it over time. So playing through a game 4 times with very slight differences in 3 days gets to you. You're like, damn, this is it's like watching 300 hours of not hours. It's like watching 25 episodes of a show to get to the good arc. It's it's fair and it's interesting, but you're like, damn, I know it's going to be worth it because it's NieR.
Yeah,
it's always worth it. But
there's a few One Piece arcs that are like that.
Yeah, there's a couple One Piece arcs like that, and it's so I'm enjoying myself, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I've seen this. I saw this cutscene yesterday twice.
Mhm.
Now I'm seeing it again. I'm when's new Pokemon Snap? I need a break. Where is it?
You just
But
want to take some pictures.
I just want to take some pictures. But overall, like it's very enjoyable. The narrative and the way it's structured is very interesting. And overall, I'm so happy that people like Yoko Taro can make their vision, their weird games, and have it like top sales charts. Like I would never have expected so many people to be so willing to repeatedly play through a game to get different endings, to get the full story. I'm glad they are, but I never would have expected like the general gaming public to be so enthusiastic about NieR. So I think it's really cool that everybody is so open to it because it's such a unique thing. Um, and it's really like there's nothing else like it. So playing through it has been quite enjoyable overall, outside of like the repetitiveness that comes with doing it in a short period of time. But I acknowledge that that's probably not the way it's meant to be played anyway,
No,
because it's
no.
you're supposed to kind of like go at your own pace, and then it's like, oh, it's been a while, like a week since I saw this cutscene instead of like the next day. So I can completely acknowledge that's not really on the game as much as me, but overall, like the characters are delightful. I think Emil is one of the most likable characters ever. The story and the twists are all a lot of fun, and the gameplay, uh, once you hit part two, is very enjoyable. So I'm having a great time with it. And the music, oof, the music,
Spicy.
spicy music. You hear a song and you're like, damn, I've never heard this song, but it makes me feel emotions. Damn, very well done.
Did you
And
cry?
I have not cried yet, but I've gone, wow, which is,
I'm almost crying.
wow, I feel emotions. Like game reviewer Black Heart feels emotion.
I have not played version 1.22. I played the original NieR on PS3. I have the new updated one.
You have the
I've not played it.
collector's edition.
I do have the collector's edition. There's an unboxing on the
There
YouTube.
is.
Yeah, that was an impulse buy that probably shouldn't have got, but I did anyway. When I first played through NieR, it was during a time where I was hanging out with my friends trying to get back into gaming. Um, at the time, I had an Xbox 360, so that just goes to show you like where it all was.
I cannot picture you being out of gaming and only having a 360.
Yeah,
that is wild to me.
I played a lot of Call of Duty, and I played. I think the first two JRPGs that I played in a long time was like Tales of Grace's F and Final Fantasy 12. Yes, which are Final Fantasy 13, which was on Xbox 360.
Yeah, that was a big thing that it was on 360.
Yeah, and so there was a time where I wanted to get back into PlayStation gaming, and I didn't own a PS3, so I went over to a friend's house, and every weekend we would like play a new PS3 game, and we played Ico and a few other games, and or Shadow of the Colossus. I'm sorry, and so, or no, Ico Remastered. Remember
Yeah, like the collection
PS,
thing.
yeah, the collector's edition, the PS3 version.
Yeah.
And so NieR was one of those games, and I thought that we could beat it in one day. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and we didn't. But we had a lot of fun, and I'm glad that this game, and that opened the door to like Drakengard to me actually, and I'm glad this game can find its footing. I wish I wasn't so annoyed that it's so big, that it's so popular. Just because I know Anime Expo is gonna come around, and I'm just gonna have to like deal with everybody dressed as these characters, and I'm just like,
oh gosh, don't you just hate seeing so many people dressed as 2B?
oh my god! I mean, for a while I was okay with it for a little bit because 2B is kind of cute, but then it's a little overwhelming. You get desensitized, and you're just like, oh, another 2B. You're just desensitized to 2B ass in your face.
You go, how can you see, lady?
That's That's how the hentai industry gets so big because you just got to keep putting out stuff. You can't just watch the same one over and over again.
I don't know, but I agree. Yeah,
There you go.
sure.
There you go. Hot takes.
Hot takes. I don't know. I'm too desensitized.
But yeah, it's a great. I'm glad I'm glad you're playing it, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts in your review.
Yeah, it'll be good. But what are you playing, Azario?
Oh crap. Um, I don't know, man. I do. You know what I was playing the other day is Sword Art Online, Alicization,
Oh, yeah,
Lycoris. I don't know what it's called.
yeah.
But I just wanted to get through the new story updates because there's one more coming, and I just
Mhm.
wanted to like return to it, and I liked it, and I still like
Hmm.
it. Um, and I'm glad that they did the updates that they did. But it was weird because I had like a free-ish day where I could have played some games for a review, but I just wasn't feeling it. There was also a lot of manga that I should have been reading, but I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, oh, I'll jump back into Sword Art Online and I'll make content from that sooner or later. And so I started playing, and I think this game should get a better. People should give it a chance. I
I
think
remember
it's
not liking it, but I don't remember why because it's been so long.
I think the base version was the mission structure sucked. The opening narrative was just a recap of the anime, and then the game started probably 7, 8 hours later. The online was broken, and now you have weekly raids, and you have ways to spend your materials because before you wouldn't really need to. There's like no reason to.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's the dating mechanics are there.
Oh, they're just there, huh?
Yeah, I liked them. So I did that, and I also charged my Oculus Quest 2 for the
Ooh,
first time in a long time to play Star Wars Pinball VR,
hell yeah.
and I loved it. I had
Did you
such a
experience
good fucking time with this
the
game.
fan room, the fan cave or whatever, where you
Oh
can
yeah,
like move around and it's like
you're in like this like yeah, like man cave like
yeah,
you can
best
walk
feature ever
around it and
added to
like
a game.
put up your posters and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all there, and but I didn't know how bad. Well, one, I really like VR. I don't like how much quarters they typically take. Sometimes some people will charge 75 to a dollar, 75 cents to a dollar, and I don't like that. So but I like telling people that I'm good at pinball because I always felt like I was good at it.
Yeah.
Um, there's things that I feel like I'm good at, but I'm not really in execution, which is Miss Pac-Man. I always tell people I'm really good at Miss Pac-Man, and then when I get down to it, I'm just okay at Miss Pac-Man. I'm not really
I'm
good.
average at best.
Galaga is another one where I tell people I can get super far in it, and then I don't always perform. I tell people I could beat the first Mario in one life, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Why do you pathologically lie to people about your game skill?
Because my name is Azario, and that rhymes with Mario. If you didn't know,
Oh yeah. Okay.
so
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I should be the best at video games, right? Um, there's just things that I say, just to make you feel better about my
Stir up the
gaming
pot a
skills.
little bit, see what happens.
Yeah, and then people will put me to the test, and that makes it more fun for them too. I feel like it generates this like competitive nature. Like people are like, no, you can't, and then when I don't, they feel good because they proved me wrong, and I got them involved in playing video games. So
It's all about making others feel good with Azario. He just
yeah,
loves bringing
I'm just
smiles to people's faces.
just a friendly guy trying to get his friends into gaming.
And if that requires some humiliation, who cares?
So be it. So
He'll
be it.
take it.
So back to Star Wars. I hate virtual reality. Let me just tell you, I hate being in there. I get
Really?
sick. I fucking hate it, dude. I hate hollow live characters. I hate fucking those streamers on the fucking with the fucking anime
That
people.
creeps me out. Yeah.
I fucking hate live chat, whatever that is. I hate it all.
I like VR, but the other things creep me out. They make me uncomfortable.
I just, I don't understand. And that's why I hate it. I hate the things I don't understand.
That's what's more human than that.
But to each their own. And I don't hate the people that watch it. I just personally don't find it very entertaining. But if you do, it's cool with me.
It's all about bringing a smile to your face.
I mean,
That's already cool.
I probably paid $12.99 for bathing suit DLC. So to each their own.
To each their. You stay. You enjoy your lane. I'll enjoy mine.
Yeah. we won't need to communicate or anything. We'll just do our own thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but this game, you're just standing there and you're playing pinball, and I was playing pinball for hours.
Like you had the machine.
It was like I didn't have to pay for every time I fucked up, and I think Zen Studios is a little nice to the player, and they give them kind of freebies. You know, it might go in and they'll be like, "Oh, free ball," you know. And I never known real pinball tables to do that so often. They sometimes do it with like your first ball. If it just goes straight down, you get a free one. But yeah, I think they're a little liberal, and that helps me out.
Pinball Master Azario's calling you out, Zen.
You need to challenge me a little more because I'll take advantage of you.
A free ball? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no thank you. Did you not hear how good I am at pinball earlier?
I was good at Space Pinball on the
Space
Windows XP.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Got pretty good at that. Which leads us into our discussion. Somehow.
Does it?
Nope. Nope.
Does Space Cadet Windows Pinball lead us into that discussion?
But I want to tell you that with the cancellation of the PS3 and stuff and the PSN and how that all went down, a lot of game price it shined a light on game prices and how high they have become over the years. And in recent months too. Silent Hill, the series, has spiked and is in the $200 range. And I can't really put my finger down, but we wanted to talk about today video game collecting in general.
Yeah.
I own a lot of video games, and I don't really talk about them too much.
As you can see behind Azario, and that's only a fraction.
That's only a fraction. There's a lot of stuff in containers in my garage. Too. I have a lot of limited editions, and I barely started collecting in like 2016, 2017. I don't know what set me off. I don't know why I wanted to start doing it, but I just went hard.
You saw one good collector's edition and it grabbed you, it hooked you.
I think the first collector's edition I was picking up was NIS Americas, because they would sell out, and that FOMO got to me sometimes.
I got the that was like typically because I'm a broke schoolboy. I don't have as many collector's editions, but for games that I really am like passionate about, I do. So like when Danganronpa 1 came out on Vita, I got the crazy edition of that with the CD and the.
That one come with the sunglasses?
That's the 2. I have that one too, though. 2 came with sunglasses, a coin, a sticker, and I think a soundtrack, maybe. And the first one came with a book and a soundtrack and something else. But those are so like when I'm very passionate about something, I'll get that collector's edition. But um, yeah, I'm big into collecting games too. I've slightly tapered a bit because I live in Canada, in case I never mentioned that. So review games and stuff, I don't get physical copies because that's
Mm,
international shipping. So
mm.
I
No
get
one's gonna
digital
pay for
copies.
that.
Yeah, no, exactly, and I don't blame them. Um, so it's I'm playing digital copies of those kinds of games, so I'm less relentless about getting physicals. But for older games and stuff, if I'm passionate about a game, I'll buy it. Like, um, I think the rarest game I have is we talked about this like last week is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on
Yeah,
PS3.
that's the one.
That's the holy grail.
That's definitely one that a lot of PS3 collectors look out for.
Hmm.
It shot up too, and those types. It's always weird the games that do become sought after, and the games that like you would expect to that never do.
Yeah,
It's there's always this like I never see this game around, and then I check online and it's like $10, and I was like, what? I never see people like have this game in their collection. It's so I think it all comes down to what people want, you know? Like what if if a rush of people all want Silent Hill 2, well the price of Silent Hill 2 is going to go up
yeah,
even if there's just as much copies of Silent Hill 2 as there is Final Fantasy 7. You know, it doesn't matter. There's only 10 people selling and they set the price.
and I'm always fascinated by how popularity is influenced. Like so much now, you'll see through like let's plays and influencers. Like they'll be like, "I like this game," and then suddenly the game becomes very popular. So like, uh, I remember like Oni plays played like Wild Woody on Sega CD, and suddenly that game became like wildly expensive. And that's so fascinating to me that people watch it and they're like, I need to own that game. That's
Yeah.
it's so interesting.
And the thing is that now anybody who owns that game, they're only going to want to match that price.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it sucks because even if there are a ton of copies out there, everyone believes that this is how much it's worth. So that's
Mhm.
how much we have to sell it for. Anything below that is not going to work. So one time I got a box. I was I was given a box of games. It was a PS2 game. I'm not going to say which one, but I was given a box of them, about 50 copies, and online they're selling for 120. I put them all on eBay for $40 each,
Wow.
and they all sold. But that price of 120 was forced to come down to 45.
You
I
single-handedly changed the market.
I fucked the used game market, and I wish that people, because I mean I was given this for free anyway. I didn't care about making this much money, but I wish more people felt that way about their used games, and they fucked with the market a little more because everyone's just thinking, oh, I can sell this game for 150. Realistically, that's only two new games in 1 month. And that's how
Yeah.
I think about it. Games are $60, $70 now. Two of them would be 140. So if you buy a PS2 game for 150, thinking about it as you just bought two new games that just came out today,
Yeah.
it's a little easier than seeing that $100 mark and thinking, oh, that's too much for a game when you
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
just spent that much money the month before on two Nintendo games, that you wanted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, and that's how I see it is like uh people really do need to either consider dropping the price, or we just need to understand that maybe new games versus old games is not that drastically different, because if I've never played a game, then it's new to me.
Hmm.
um I recently purchased Parasite Eve 2. I've never played it. So whether I paid $60 or $120, it's still a new experience to me. And I kind of justify that as when I'm collecting is that I just fucking paid $180 for a NieR collector's edition that right now I don't care about. Like I care more about my copies of Legend of Dragoon and Valkyrie Profile than that,
Yeah,
you know? And and yeah, so I mean I make bad decisions all the time. It's the name of the game.
comes with the job.
Yeah. How do you feel? How do you feel about prices and what do you look for when you're do you like to go out? Do you like to go to eBay? What's your
I like going out. There's a couple retro game stores near where I'm at, and they were
definitely
always pretty fair. And it's in my experience, it's rare to find fair ones because
yeah.
typically it's way blown out. But so when I was like in high school, I would like bring over stuff to sell that I had multiples of or anything, so I could get new games. So I think it's like my tried and true strategy is, oh, this game's expensive because it's old, so I'll get it on Virtual Console or PSN, and then save up to get the physical one later.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I get to play it like early. At least this was what I've done since I was younger. But at the same time, you can still get the game because, as we saw it with the whole situation with the PlayStation Store, um, digital copies are fleeting.
Yeah.
It's not the same as having a physical copy. So I do think that physical is the way to go, and I do like collecting for that reason, and just because it looks cool. You can't see it here, but I have a nice shelf too, and it's a lot of fun to kind of have that collection that of things that like mean something to you. So I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah. Um what are some of your prized games other than JoJo? What are some games that
Hmm.
kind of you cherish?
I have a Black Label Final Fantasy VII that I got from my friend who hosted a Final Fantasy podcast that I listened to relentlessly when I was a teenager. So that has a lot of personal value alongside value. The Danganronpa things I mentioned earlier are pretty hard to come by now. Um, what else? Some of my PS1 games and Dreamcast games, like Digimon World 3, I know isn't like super cheap right now, and I have a lot
No,
of fond
yeah.
memories.
Going up.
Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff like that. Like a lot of it's nostalgia based, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, where it's like objectively a really unfair game, but I'm so fond of it and so nostalgic for it that I have it. Like I have that's one of those games that I have complete that I'm like, oh, I'll display that. I love that game. So yeah, I think part of it is like the Dreamcast era is like my nostalgic favorite of like, oh, I loved playing the Dreamcast as a kid. So I a lot of those games like Sonic Adventure and stuff that I have physical copies of, I value. But yeah, it's I'd say those are mine. What are some of yours?
Um, before that, I think you reminded me of why I started collecting in the first place. And I was in school at the time, but I got a pretty good job. And what my goal was to buy every game that my brother and I played growing up
Hmm.
and own it again because of course your dad parents will sell it whenever you leave, you know, they don't give a fuck about those
Yeah.
games or they'll give it away to your cousins or something. So my goal was originally to just buy all the games that we had growing up. So you have like Oddworld, Star Wars, Dark Forces, you know, Final Fantasy 7, Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 8, you know, all those games. And then I started remembering all the games that I passed in Blockbuster and that I wanted to play but never rented. So I started focusing on those games and I feel like I'm one day I'm gonna play them all, but I do suffer from buying games and not being able to play them right away. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
for my more rare games, and I have quite a few, but I don't want to look through all of them right now. But for one that people assume is very rare is Rule of Rose.
That's a big one.
And I'll open her up. And it's funny how this game came into my possession. It's a really good friend of mine had a few copies of it, and he knew that I really liked game collecting, and he said, "Here, take it."
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, and he in his head, he wasn't even giving it away. It was just staying at someone else's house because I'm not going to sell it. He's not going to sell it. So like it's just with me, like
Yeah.
it's never going anywhere. It's right here, Um and I think that's what I'm not sure. I didn't ask him, but that's how he processes it. But I was very I loved it, and it's one for that reason. Also, is that it's like pretty prized possession of mine. And incidentally, the developer of Rule of Rose released another game called Tulip,
Julep.
and this game is going up in price for some reason. I don't know.
Just recently too.
Yeah, we noticed that we checked on it, and it was like $40 last year, and now it's like 100. Don't buy it for 100, guys. Just wait a little bit; it'll go down. Um, This game is about you're trying to kiss a girl, and I've only played like the
Relatable.
first hour of it, but I really want to do something with it. We used to have a show on Noisy Pixel called Retro Pixel where I played with friends and we sat down and played my old games with together, and we had to stop because of COVID, but it'll come back. I promise you. Um, one of the recent games that I did buy that I spent a lot of money on and that I've been wanting in my collection is Wild Arms 5, and it's complete. It has the art book in there and everything. Um, it's published by Xseed, which at the time was mainly just doing localization for Square Enix because it was made up of Square Enix people. And Sony wasn't going to publish this game in the West, so Xseed stepped up and did it. Really cool cover art that kind of extends to the back there. You don't really see that too often in games.
That's cool.
And there's the game. Really cool. Xseed also does full color manuals. So
That's really nice.
yeah. So and they still do today, even on their Switch games. So if you
Wow.
buy an Xseed game, you will get a manual. And gotta love them for it. So
God
those
love
are
him.
the I own a lot of games and sometimes I buy them out of impulse. But there's a lot of titles that I get that are just like this one, like I don't know what the fuck this is, but it looks super cool.
Yeah.
So I do that a lot. I do that a lot. If I see a game and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, I'll pick it up. Um,
Oh, that's the other. I just remember I have Xenoblade Chronicles on Wii. That's that's one
yeah,
that I value. I just remembered that.
and no jokes, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is going up in price right now too for the
I'm glad I
Switch.
have that too.
And the Torna Golden DLC, that one's even more expensive right now if you have the physical.
I'm glad I have the physical of that too.
Yeah. So that game originally was what, $40, $30
Yeah.
bucks. Um and no Amazon seemed like it was like hard to get off. Like it was just always there. And then out of
Yeah.
nowhere when fucking the
Smash.
Smash stuff happened, there goes the price. So shit like that happens all the time, guys. And that sometimes it affects it negatively. Sometimes it's good for you if you want to make a couple extra dollars. But always think that even if you sell a game for 120, 150, it's only two new games. Like, are you making that much money back? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. So collect if you're going to collect because you want to be around this stuff. You want this sense of ownership of your video games. But I wouldn't say collect thinking that you're going to come out a millionaire.
Yeah. It's going to be a very very slow long road for you to do that.
Yeah. There's no money in there's very little money in reselling, and the people that do it, they spend 24 hours a day 7 days a week doing it, just setting up those eBay things, and it's a lot of work. So if you want to do that, I'm sure you could, but you'll be making pennies. But I encourage all video game collecting, and I encourage you to share your prized video games, whether it's a prized one from just your memories alone, or prized in terms of it's very expensive and you own it.
Yeah. What have you all got? I want to know.
Yeah, we're not trying to buy either. We don't want to buy from you.
No.
No, we're not trying to buy. Unless you're selling. No, just kidding.
Unless you're selling and you got that discount for those hosts that you find so
those noisy pixel discounts. But yeah, there's let us know in the comments. And I think that brings us to the end of our episode.
What a fun podcast that was. Just talking about games collecting.
Yeah. I don't collect Super Nintendo games, and I don't collect a lot of Nintendo games. I'm very much a PlayStation boy. What I did was I got the Super Nintendo games that I've always wanted. You know, you got your Secret of Mana, your Mario RPG, your Final Fantasies. I bought those. That's it. I stopped. And with Wii, I bought all the RPGs that were on there, and then I stopped.
Yeah, it's all about having goals of what you want.
Yeah.
So don't collect for money, and don't collect just to have it, like things that you don't care about.
Yeah, because I could fill up my shelves with sports games or, SpongeBob games. But I like to have a nice
connection
catalog.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that.
That's all we got. But we want to know about your collections. I'm going to read all the comments. Tell me, what do you got? Tell me.
And we'll have a new Last Gen episode soon for you. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, folks.
Well, have a good day. Noisy Pixel.